preserve. Everyone gets to understand, because sure, you have the influence from outside, but it gets to grow into its own thing because it's not connected to a landmass, which is why I think like Caribbean islands and also Ireland have these unique cultures just because they're islands. Hi everyone, I'm the Rum, one half of Wine and Rum. We're an expat couple living here in Dublin, Ireland for the past 4 years. We make videos for aspiring expats wanting to know what it would be like to move to a new country or to a new city. Of course, if any of that sounds interesting to you, please do subscribe and check out the links in the description. Yes, I know, it's a Rum solo again video. Yeah, the Wine and I, been pretty busy, work and all that sort of stuff. So what we're trying to do is to make sure we get out these videos to you on time each week. So we've been taking our turn on turn with a couple scripts for topics that we're writing ourselves versus writing together. But don't worry, very soon you'll be able to have two of us again in the videos once again. So let's get started with today's topic. Now, having done a couple Barbados videos since Barbados announced the 12-month visa, I've been thinking a lot about life there versus here in Ireland. So today's video is just a simple short video on some of the 3 differences I think about living in Ireland versus Barbados. The one thing that's really stood out to me and that I've quite enjoyed since moving here is the shopping access. Basically, Barbados and Ireland, both islands, so they always have to take some time to get their imports in, etc. Of course, yes, stuff is manufactured in both countries, a lot more in Ireland of course, but it comes from how close you are to your partners or places where you need to import from. The US is much farther away from Barbados than Europe, the rest of Europe is from Ireland. Therefore, in Ireland we can still get our goods and services and so like that pretty quickly. Might be a bit annoying, it's not as well set up as in the actual UK. If I want something ordered, I still need to sometimes to avail of some freer or cheaper shipping, have a account set up so that it gets shipped to Northern Ireland, then gets rerouted to my, what do you call it? Was that a PO box? But something like that here in Ireland. In Barbados, however, stuff like online shopping, I wouldn't say it's non-existent, but for most, small businesses, it's very difficult. You can't just plug into a PayPal or a Stripe or what have you. So most companies actually don't have that much of an online website e-commerce presence. What they do instead is very enough, also cool at the same time, resourceful, utilize Facebook. If you're going anywhere looking for a product or a service, etc. like that, you're probably in Barbados going to find it on Facebook, on a page that's regularly updated. So, I might check it before I'm calling up the shop. Yeah, phones like this, no one uses a phone like this. I need to start doing this because that's how we use a phone these days. Crazy, isn't it? So before you go calling up the store or anything like there, do look for the Facebook page. They might have some updates or so on there. You might still probably need to call the store before you go there if you don't want to trek there and the product you want isn't there. Yeah, that's one of the main differences. Kind of an unfair comparison, but that's one of the things I like. The ease of shopping and the proximity to everything else here in Ireland. Unlike Ireland, there isn't so much of a pub culture in Barbados. That's kind of been replaced with more of a rum shop culture. Unfortunately, I've never been to a rum shop, not to socialize. Sure, yeah, I've been in one, on the tour or something like that. But it's pretty much a bit like pub culture, except though these days it's more your set of more elderly gentlemen, your distinguished elderly gentlemen. They're having their drinks, having some fun, talking shop as one may do, playing dominoes, having a good time. Yeah, that's more of what the rum culture is about. As it's said in Barbados, there's almost a rum shop for every church, because apparently when we went to church, guys went to the rum shop. Yeah, I don't see as much open to actually think that it is, but there's certain places if you drive in Barbados, you might go by a rum shop. Yeah, it's always there, it's always open, there's always someone there, so there just be maybe some truth to that. Other than that, what people like me, or most other younger, middle-aged folk, etc., that more know about are the fetes, the parties. Yeah, instead of a rum shop, it's like big party with music. Usually, you've got your DJ or your band, you know, your calypsonian or your artist right there on the stage, and everyone's just, you know, gathered around in party mode, just chilling, walking up, whining, drinking, having a really great time. Yeah. Unfortunately, pandemic's kind of ruining that fun right now. But yeah, these usually will take place during the night because, look, or the sunset hours or early in the morning, because you do not want to be out there in midday sun. No matter how good the music is, unless it's crop over and you're prepared for being in that sun, you'd rather have a more chill, you know, experience during the night time, during the evening when you've got the cool ocean breezes, sun isn't as hot, and especially if it's a beach fete. Ah, I miss beach fetes. Yeah, somebody call me when this pandemic is over, because we need more stuff like that. In Ireland, however, my activities are much different. Being a bigger country, and I know I'm like, Barbados could fit within, I think it's County Dublin? I'll need to measure that to get back to you. It'll appear on the screen where how much of Ireland Barbados can actually fit into. But what I like about Ireland is the outdoors. It is. There's bigger country now. There's so much different landscapes and stuff like that you can go see. Oh, you know, if everything in the pandemic behaves itself, probably will go to a staycation out west. Yeah, looking forward to see some ocean and some of the great, you know, wild Atlantic way, as you may have. Yeah, there's lots of hikes, there's lots of walking. It's the Emerald Isle. If you're not in Ireland, besides for the pubs and the fun, etc., that the nature is what's there. Some of these like rare rock formations and the culture and, you know, how the landscape. Whenever you go on tours and stuff, and you're seeing these old castles or monasteries, etc., that from, you know, centuries ago, just those stand there on the landscape. That's something really amazing that I always like about Ireland. And I really like that people, you know, when they're taking their time to go on vacation, that they go see these things pass by them. It's still, you know, something cool to do. And of course, it's an island. What both, you know, countries share is beach. Sorry, I love myself some ocean. Sorry, Austria, you've got no oceans. I've got to deal with, you know, no oceans. There's rivers and lakes. Barbados doesn't really have rivers, so, you know, that's cool. But the ocean, it's just perfect. As you can see by how much I babbled, how much I dearly do love the nature and being outside and the society and the sociability and all that stuff here. Which is why, you know, love Ireland, love Barbados. But now we come to stuff like transport and traffic and all that stuff. The more divisive topic among people. Yeah, go on any, you know, Facebook group thread, there are going to be lots of jokes or comments or, you know, legitimate complaints about Dublin bus being late. But comparison to Barbados, yes, have a road network system, a dense road network system. You know, roads crisscross the island pretty much. And yes, a lot of the travel is by car. The only mass transit really system is buses, several different buses. Yeah. In the previous video, I think I would have talked about how it's a bit of a challenge because the routes aren't sometimes direct. It uses the capital city Bridgetown as a hub, so you need to go back to the city. Well, go to the city and then go to another route for something that can probably just straight dead on in a car take you 10-20 minutes. But the more interesting thing is the buses. Now, in Dublin, you know, especially when I went to the UK, I've heard of these magical buses that, you know, are for the most part on time, that you have apps and signage that tells you when stuff comes. Yeah, no. I'm like Dublin bus system more always, because I don't need to sit here wondering will the bus come or not. I haven't had to play that game in years. I'm quite happy. It's like, oh, will it come? Did something happen? Did it break down? Is it coming on time? Is it going to be full? Is it going to be full and I need to wait, 20, 30 minutes for the next bus? Because unfortunately for my people in Barbados living in the country, as well as probably people here too, I know, for the time you leave any mass transport system and go to the countryside, you got problems. It's like really long time, like where the wine lives, etc. There is a train, but versus in the middle of Vienna, obviously bigger population and subways, etc. like that, where, if I miss a thing in the tube or the metro, or what does Vienna call it? The U-Bahn, yeah. If I go to the U-Bahn and I miss, a train, just wait 3 minutes, there's another one there. Yeah, not quite the same in these here parts for both of these islands. We wish we could have that. Maybe one day when that Dublin's magical, subway system, metro comes on board. I have a feeling I'm going to be like the rest of the Irish and keep talking about this magical thing that I've heard about that should have been coming for the past 4 years since I've been here. Yeah. Let's see if we make it a decade and it still comes forth. But back to Barbados. I've been talking about trains. We used to have a train line way back in the day. No longer exists. There's a kind of like mini tour of a train line that probably just opened. I can't remember if we ever made the video from my last trip to Barbados, but it'll appear there if I did actually finish edit it. But those are really the main comparisons between the transport systems. We've got buses only, Barbados. Over here we've got some trains and stuff. Trains, buses, taxis, etc. that. Because we live so central, we don't really need to use them, but when we do go to other towns, train is our best bet. We do wish that there was more train utilization. Having a metro would be awesome to get around, Dublin. Dublin is a very walkable city. You don't really feel the need to have anything more. But the problem is when you're going further distances, like to the airport, for example. Thank goodness for the tunnel, but it'd be nice if I can just go there and just zip up there to the airport. Well, thanks for hanging around, hearing me talk about some of these very small but very passionate differences between the two countries. I've always liked living on islands. Islands are, whether big or small, I find that they just have they have like a shared history, the same set of challenges just because of their islands, and it always means that the nature is pretty beautiful, that the people get to, they get to be themselves, there's whenever you're on an island, it's kind of it becomes less like a melting pot, but more of something that's preserved. Your culture gets preserved, everyone gets to understand, because sure you have influence from outside, but it gets to grow into its own thing because it's not connected to a landmass, which is why I think Caribbean islands and also Ireland have these unique cultures just because they're islands, unlike other places that are more continental, and so you get a lot more mixes of cultures and culture evolves faster there. Anyway, that's enough talking for you for now. Of course, if you like this video, please subscribe. Interested about learning more stuff about Ireland, we have a lot of playlists there with stuff. I keep pointing there, but it's probably going to be there in the description, or wait till the end of the video. And for now, this is me. Until the next video, see you later, and click the links below. You'll find some interesting stuff, and bis später.